We get brief glimpses into life at the White House, but the staff who work there really get an up-close and personal look at the first families of America. From the Kennedys to the Obamas, the new book, The Residence, is a backstairs look inside what is arguably the world's most famous home and some of the people who've lived there. Author Kate Anderson Brower joins us live by satellite. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, Kate, where did the idea for this book come from? I know that you were a White House correspondent for a while.
That's right. I covered President Obama's first term as a White House reporter for Bloomberg News, and I was on maternity leave actually when our first child was born, and I was everyone told me I would love Downton Abbey, so I was binge watching Downton Abbey late at night when my baby was awake, and it made me think of a lunch that I had been invited to with First Lady Michelle Obama. There were a handful of reporters there, and this butler would come in and out of the room. It was a room on the state floor of the White House that I had never been in before, even though I had been in the White House more than 100 times to cover formal events. It was a private room off the old, it's called the Old Family Dining Room. It's on the state floor of the White House, and it was relatively small, very elegant, and this butler came in and out and served us, and Mrs. Obama clearly had a rapport with him. So it made me wonder, you know, this is real life Downton Abbey that plays out at the White House every day.
Kind of taking us with a backstairs look of what's going on here at the White House, and a lot of these people, because of what they do, are supposed to be invisible. So I guess that's kind of the way they live their lives at the White House. But in your book, you talk about how they do interact with the first families. Who did you talk to get this book written?
I interviewed more than 50 former resident staffers, one current butler, and the children of 4 presidents, 3 former first ladies, Rosalind Carter, Laura and Barbara Bush, and also chiefs of staff like Andy Card and presidential advisors to find out what it's really like behind the scenes at the White House. And I think ultimately what I came away with was that first families are human beings first, you know, and they go through ups and downs, and it's the staff, it's the maids, the butlers, the florists who see them at their highest highs and lowest lows.
And that's kind of where the book starts. You start with the Kennedy family and the butler who worked for them, who was really a part of their family.
Yeah, I think it's a very telling thing that they grow so close to the doormen and butlers who they see every day. And Jackie and JFK were very close to this doorman named Preston Bruce. And there's a scene in the book where Jackie's coming back from Dallas, and she's in that famous pink suit, blood-stained suit, and she cries with Preston Bruce in the elevator. She and Robert Kennedy are in the elevator with him, and they just have this moment where she breaks down because she had been so stoic, of course, immediately after the assassination, because they feel comfortable with the staff. These are the only people who don't want anything from the first families. They're there just to serve them, and they're fiercely loyal to every first family they serve.
Which family, in doing your research, did you find was most respectful to the staff at the White House?
By far, almost to a person, the people I interviewed told me that George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush were the most respectful towards them. They were the kindest. President Bush would play horseshoes with staffers on sunny summer weekends. He even invited one of the housemen named Lindsay Little, and a houseman is in charge of vacuuming and moving heavy furniture on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the White House. He invited Lindsay to have dinner with him on the 2nd floor of the White House. And I interviewed this man, and he said, he's still completely awestruck by that because no other president would have invited him to have dinner. And Barbara Bush would walk around with her bathing suit and a bathrobe over it in the early morning and before her daily swim, and poke her head in at the different shops in the basement of the White House and visit the florists. She called the pastry chef the cookie man. I mean, they were like everyone's grandparents, and they were really loved.
And you've got a lot of great photos in the book as well. How did you get access to those?
Well, some of them were given to me by resident staffers. There's some photos that they were given by each administration, and there's, a photo of Hillary Clinton with the pastry chef Roland Mesnier, and he gave that to me to use for the book. And then there are also some photos that are really great from presidential libraries that I loved to get access to, including a photo of Amy Carter with her nanny on the south lawn of the White House, which is one of my favorite photos because they're really intimate. It's a moment where they're just having fun like any nanny with the kids she's looking after, and I love that picture.
Well, the book is full of a lot of great pictures, a lot of great anecdotes, and a lot of great stories of our American first families. Kate, thank you so much, and congratulations with the book.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. The book is called The Residence, and it is available now.